Hey guys, welcome back. Let's talk about the next session is the name here. So Krish Ravipati. Even before we go into changing the name, if you're a migrant, I'm sure you would have heard this saying that in Australia, you need to change your name to more Australian name. Now, have you ever thought of why that's the case? Because see, in predominantly in Australia, the names are mostly two syllables or maximum three syllables. What I mean by that is, say for example, Jody or Lisa. So Jody or Lisa. Or in the boy's name, let's go Andrew or David. You see how there are two syllables? So whenever there's two syllables, they usually expand the first syllable and cut short the second syllable. What I mean by that, again, I'll go slow. See, if it's D-A-V-I-D, David, it's David. Or if their other name, Andrew. So predominantly the name would be Nana, if they're two syllables. Same with ladies' names. If they're two syllables, it's Lisa, Jody. So you see in those examples, so if your name has got two syllables, it's better, it's good. Sometimes you'll have three syllables. For example, Rebecca or Jessica. So if you have three syllables, usually what happens is Australians tend to expand the second word. So Rebecca, Jessica. So that's why sometimes if you have an Indian name called Pallavi, P-A-L-L-A-V-I, usually they say Pallavi because that rhymes with Rebecca. You see, say for example, if your name is Vasanti, then usually people say Vasanti because that's how they pronounce. So if you're a migrant has got someone or someone's got more than three syllables, that is where you need to cut short your name. Common name from where I come from is Venkateshwar Rao. It's a common Telugu name. Now Venkateshwara Rao, it's like 6-7 syllables. So it's very hard for an Australian whether to say Venkat or Venkata. So it's quite confusing, and that's what we prefer, or the Australians prefer to have two syllables or maximum three syllables. So that's why I suggest that when you change your name, probably get something from your own name. That's why Venkateshwar Rao predominantly becomes Venki, Venki, Venkat. So that's how the pronunciation goes. What I suggest is maybe pause this video and think of all the names that you can think of, and 90% of the cases you would get to this conclusion. So when you're looking at your name, I suggest that have two syllables or maximum three syllables, not more than three syllables, because it's hard to understand how to pronounce because they get confused. Last example I will give you is someone who's got four syllables would be Felicity. So Felicity. So it goes na, 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 na. There is no expansion of any phonetics in that sector. So if you have four syllables, it becomes a little bit tricky for Australians to even pronounce, to pick up the phone and call you for a job interview. So that's my tip. Have two or three syllables. Right. Now let's go to the LinkedIn, and here what I say is if you want to change your name, obviously make it a legal name, professional name, or preferred name. So in my case, my legal name is Sri Krishna Ravipati. However, I've condensed it to Krish Ravipati. So that's my professional name, not a legal name. So you're allowed to do that. So for you to change your name, you go and click that little icon, a little pencil button there. And here is where you put the first name is Krish and the last name is Ravipati. Now, once again, when you come from Hyderabad, it's quite common to put the name up the other way around. You put, like, in India, I'm called as Ravipati Sri Krishna. So my surname becomes first and my first name becomes the second part of the name. However, in Australia, it's a little bit different. Your first name, how you're called as, is the first name, and the surname is the last name. So get familiar with it, and change your name accordingly. If it's the other way around, if your surname is appearing here, you got to change it. Okay, so the first name is the Christian name or Hindu name or Muslim name that your dad and mom gave you, and the last name is the surname, your family name. Quite common, people who come from Tamil Nadu, they don't have surnames. Their father name becomes their surname. So it's again up to you whether you want to call. My father's name is Subramanyam, so I can call myself Krish Subramanyam in this field here, or I can call Krish here and Subramanyam here. However it works for you guys, it's totally up to you. But predominantly the rule here is the first name is the given name given to you, and the last name is the surname. The next one also is, if you have any qualifications, I highly suggest that you do put it, especially if it's an Australian qualification. Please highlight it. Masters in Professional Accounting, MPA, Masters in Engineering, whatever that you have, put that in there so it's visible. If you do have an additional name, you can put it. I leave it blank. You can also record this audio recording as how you pronounce your name. That's another cool feature that you can use. So if you want, if you have a mobile phone, record it and then add it to that, how you pronounce it as well. Once again, this is he, him, she, her, whatever your preference is. Yeah, select that, that drop down. Okay, in the next section, let's talk about headline in the next section. I'll pause this video here and then I'll see you in the next video.